points. Darling had 26 points, and Thompson had 24. The Spurs control the tip. The Clippers have the players they need out there. Can they get a win tonight? It's Indonesia night here. It is loud, and the fans are excited. The Clippers have hung their hats on defense all season long. Look at that. First possession, they get the turnover, and look at them push the ball. Darling pushed it with the floater, kissed off the glass, couldn't get that one to go down, and cleaning it up is Thompson. Look at Thompson, get a rebound, get a point. Thompson picks up where he left off last game. And I'll tell you right now, Thompson is really coming into his own. You can see he is getting just so much confidence. And look at that with a nice swat right there. He is getting the confidence that your Agua Caliente Clippers need for this playoff push. And then it goes right back to Thompson. What's he going to do with a jab step? Gets in deep, gets it off the glass. That's a nice play right there. I will take it. That is 4 points for Thompson, 0 for the Spurs, as your Agua Caliente Clippers are up early in this contest. Nice floater right there as Robinson gets that to dribble in. That was a nice shot right there. Great response. Just calm and get to the cup and get 2 points. As I said, your Agua Caliente Clippers are looking to make a playoff punch. As Wallace gets the ball over to Darling, he was in a perfect place, downtown Ontario. And you can see Darling, he got right in rhythm, right in space, and he's a young man that can fill up a stat sheet for you in a moment's notice. That's good to see your Clippers coming out very aggressive to start this contest with 10.5 to go here in the first quarter. Great defense by Wallace, all up in his grill. And you can see right there, look at that nice floater right there, gets that to go to. And that one goes down for K-God. He gets that 2 points as your Agua Caliente Clippers are looking to try to see if they can establish a nice dominance here early in this contest. Wallace, nice first step, get to the cup. Did you see that acceleration? That was a burst for that young man as he got right to the cup. You can see right now, this is one thing that I like to see in tonight with your, look at that. Look at the defense. That's what I told you. The Clippers have played defense, lights out. And I like the way that they've come out aggressive early in the contest. There have been some games where they've just been flat out flat to start out the contest. But you can see they've got some pep in their step tonight. They got some of that home cooking as Wallace gets the step tech downtown on hitting big threes. Last contest, he chipped in 9 points. And you can see tonight he is looking to just light up that stat sheet. Great start for your Agua Caliente Clippers on both sides of the ball, on the offensive side and the defensive side. And I said, I've been here since the beginning, and this is the best defense I've seen for this team in all the years that I've been here. So I love the way that your Clippers are coming out. As Wallace has it, what's he going to do with it? He had a great drive to the cup just a moment ago. Darling's got the stroke as well. Look at Thompson step right into it. That was clean as can be, but just couldn't get that one to go down. Leading scorer for your Agua Caliente Clippers with 5 points is Wallace. They get the ball over to Dotson, and then Dotson, nice spin move, nice rotation, pass up a good shot for a great shot. Couldn't get that one to go down, but that was a nice spin move, nice pass right there. Just couldn't get the results they wanted as Wallace has it. I like the way that he's just been the floor general tonight for your Agua Caliente Clippers with 8 minutes and 43 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Get the ball right to Darling, right where he wanted to, gets it back out to Wallace. He saw Thompson, couldn't get it to him, and Wallace steps right into that three. I tell you, he's caliente as Wallace hits another big three for your Agua Caliente Clippers. I'll tell you right now, that young man is starting the game off caliente. Getting to the cup, nice sweeping shot, just couldn't get that one to go down. Gets the ball to King, you're cleared for takeoff. Gets it off the glass, 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And you can see right now, they have started out caliente to begin this contest. Up by 13. I tell you, they're hitting on all cylinders tonight. Love the way they've come out and played basketball on the offensive side and defensive side as Stewart gets it. And what's he going to do with it? I saw him in shoot around. He had the stroke going. Good stop. Good shot. Kiss it off the glass. That's a nice shot for Dotson as he gets exactly the result he wanted. Got right to his spot and let it go. And that's a great play for the Spurs team coming out of a timeout. Go ahead, get set, get where you want to be, and make sure you get the shot that you need. Your Agua Caliente Clippers. Great pass as you find Thompson down low. Just couldn't get that one to go down. But I tell you, he was right at the cup, but just could not get that one to go down. Another good shot right there, and the Spurs, they are responding. And that's a good shot by Morris as he hits a three-pointer. And you can see right now, they're getting it together. They're getting it going. Leading scorer for your Agua Caliente Clippers, Wallace has 8 points, followed by 4 points by Thompson, and Darling has 3, and King has 2. Darling, speaking of Darling, gets the shot, gets blocked, gets it back out to King, just lipped out. But I tell you, that was a good-looking shot for your Agua Caliente Clippers. The Spurs, they're putting something together. You can see they are responding. They cut that 13-point lead down. They're only down by 8 now, so they are starting to feel their rhythm. They're starting to get where they want to be. Look at the defense. I talk about that all year. The Clippers play great defense, but look at the ball rotation as the ball finds the shooter. Just couldn't get that one to go down, but that was a good-looking shot for Morris. Got the shot he wanted, just not the result. As your Clippers with 6.5, get the ball over to Darling, and Darling just couldn't get that one to go down. And now the Clippers got a little stagnant on offense. They started off Caliente, not hitting as many shots lately. Stewart gets it. Great defense by your Clippers, but that's just a good move right there by Holman. Gets that to go down. That's just a great move. Veteran move, absorbed the contact, step back, got the shot. A great looking play. And just like this Spurs team has stormed back. That 13-point lead now is only 6. So your Clippers, you want to respond. You want to get a point as Wallace gets a shot up. And just finds the friendly dribble as it gets back in for Wallace as your Agua Caliente Clippers needed those 2 points. Now your lead back up to 8. Can the Clippers get a stop here? As getting right where he wants to be. That's just too easy for Dotson. That is just way too easy for him. You cannot allow that young man to get that close to the cup because he's going to make you pay for sure. You can see it as the ball finds its way back over to Scott. What's Scott going to do? Euro step. Great block. What a great block. Oh, couldn't control it as Holman gets it, but a good block as Darling gets it. Gets the floater. Gets right to where he wants to be. I like that as Darling gets the 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Great response for your Clippers. You can see now we got a ball game right now. Great, absorbs the contact. Good play by Kaycock as he absorbs the contact, gets the traditional 3-point play. That's one of those things. They didn't get rattled. They didn't get nervous. The Clippers came out blazing. You see right there, absorbs the contact, still gets the shot up and one. Nice play right there, young man. And I'll say right now, the response of the Spurs team has been great. The Clippers came out lights out, pulled away by 13 points, and you can see right now the Spurs team has responded. Free throws no good, could not convert that traditional 3-point play. So your Agua Caliente Clippers still up by 6. But that's one of the things, I'm sure this is something that Coach Hewitt wants to say. When you get out to a lights-out start, you want to make sure you continue to apply the pressure. You don't want to let this team get back in. And Scott just checked in for your Clippers as Darling gets the shot. Gets the 3-ball, couldn't get that one to go down, and now the Spurs. That's one thing. That's another area of concern. The Clippers are getting one solid shot, and then the Spurs are getting the rebound. So the Clippers got to do a better job on the offensive glass to make sure they're giving themselves more opportunities. With just under 5 minutes to go, Ford's going to check in for Wallace for your Agua Caliente Clippers. 17 seconds on the shot clock, and you can see right there, kicked out of bounds right there. And that's one of the things, 17 seconds on the shot clock to the Spurs. Still got plenty of time on the shot clock as the ball finds its way to Kaycock. He just had a nice drive. Look at that, just strong. That's a grown man move right there. Just physical. Just gets down, gets the 2 points. That is a nice play for that young man. I'll tell you right now, he's brought his A game as Darling gets down low, keeps the ball down in the traffic as Williams gets it up. Couldn't get that one to go down. That's just a little bit long. And I'll tell you right there, just like this, folks, this Spurs team is right back in this game, and that's a good shot right there. Got right to his spot. And I told you, when I saw in shoot-arounds, I saw Stewart getting the shot. I mean, he's got the stroke. I saw him all shoot-around as Williams gets it over to Darling. Darling gets it back over to Ford. What's Ford going to do? Gets it back over to Darling. Darling's got the stroke going. Couldn't get that one to go down. A little bit short on that play, but great play by Ford. Couldn't get the rebound, but got it back to a teammate. Ford's wide open, gets that up. Couldn't get that one to go down. Just dribbles over. But I'll tell you right now, I saw in shoot-arounds, I saw Stewart. Stewart had the stroke going. So if you're the Agua Caliente Clippers, he's a young man you want to stay connected to because you can see he had it going. Clippers only up by 2. This was a 13-point lead, folks. So this Spurs team, they have responded. They had some quick early timeouts, and you can see they've made the adjustment as Morris gets down low. You don't want to let him get that close. The Clippers are fortunate he wasn't able to get those 2 points. But I'll tell you right now, you don't want to allow that man to get that close to the cup. As Ford gets it, rotates it to Williams. Let's get to the cup. A lot of contact, no foul. They're going to call the foul on the play. That was just a strong move. I tell you, Williams went up, and they're going to call offensive foul on that play. He went up with bad intentions, but they're going to call the foul against him on that play. And you can see as he goes up, I don't know how that's an offensive foul. That's an interesting call, but nonetheless, the referees called it, and now the Spurs team, just like that, they're only down by 2. They can tie it up with a deuce, or they can take the lead with a 3. So this is something that your Clippers, they want to make sure they've hung their hats on defense all season long. Can they get a stop on this possession? And K-Cot gets up close, and they're going to call a foul on that play. And that's going to be a foul called on Williams. And that's 2 quick fouls called against Williams on that play. And that's going to be a tough one. That's his second personal foul, and that's just a tough one. And now you're going to have 1 free throw worth 2 points. You can see right there, Coach Hewitt talking to the referee. Love the way that he has such a great rapport with the referees, and they allow him to talk to him and get a response because he's so respectful. Always coaching, and now you have a tie ball game here, and that is a 13-point deficit that the Spurs have wiped out. So Agua Caliente Clippers, you got to stay aggressive. You got to get some points. You want to make sure you get some points here. And now, great pass right there. No foul called on the play. And now look at the Spurs. They are pushing. Look at the lob. Couldn't get that one to go down. I'll tell you, the Clippers are fortunate that one didn't go as the ball makes its way back to 4. Throws it up. You're clear for takeoff. Slammer jammer. Big dunk by Scott. And your Clippers respond with 2 points. Great play. Well timed. Like that play. And now if you're the Clippers, you want to continue to play defense. You don't want to give up an easy 2-point. As Morris, nice step back. That looked clean. Just couldn't get that one to go down. Williams gets the rebound, and now you see the Clippers. They want to push it, and that's what you want to see at the beginning of the game. They were so aggressive, and you want to see that. And that's just a steal. Just stole it. Picked his pocket as Morris gets the easy 2. Good to see the local guy get out here. It is loud here, folks. Clippers Nation is growing. You gotta love that. Tie ball game, 23-23, as your Agua Caliente Clippers try to respond and see if they can get a score. Nice lob, but what a response. Ball finds its way back to Wallace, gets it over to the local guy, and somehow it finds its way back to Williams, and Williams gets down low, gets it back down to Edwards, gets to the cup, takes it, kiss it off the glass. Nice play right there for Edwards. I don't know how he navigated his way to the rim, but he did to get 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. 15 seconds on the shot clock. You got about a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter, and that's a nice step back right there. Just couldn't get that to go down, and that just fell right into the laps of the Spurs, but that made its way back to the Clippers. Nice no look, but even better recovery. But that's a nice comeback just coming out of the air. What a recovery by the Spurs. And that's going to be a call against Bowman. So that's going to be that's his first foul. So you got a minute and a half to go with your Agua Caliente Clippers up by 2. 1 free throw worth 2 points. But I'll tell you, these two teams, they are fast and they are quick. The minute they get the ball, they have their foot on the gas and they're ready to go. Wallace has 10 points tonight. He's 4 from 4 for the field. Couldn't get that free throw to go down, but he's having a great night tonight for your Agua Caliente Clippers on the offensive side of the ball. And now the Clippers have hung their hand on defense all season. Nice ball rotation, gets the ball down low. Couldn't get that one to go down, so Murphy got in close. But look at the Clippers. As soon as they get it, they are ready to run. Wallace gets up, couldn't get that one to go down. And that was one of those situations, just a quick shot. And now look at the Spurs. Get the ball up deep, gets it down to Murphy. And that was it looks like that may have been a block. We'll see if they give him an official block as Wallace gets it. Got a minute to go here in the first quarter. Clippers up by 2, and Wallace gets the ball. They're going to call a foul on that play. And that's going to be called against 36, and that's going to be Mahoney. That's his first personal foul. And Wallace just had a free throw just a moment ago. Now he'll step up for another free throw. And this is the one thing about this time of the game. 1 free throw worth 2 points. So the free throws are so important. importance and gets that one to go down to put your Agua Caliente Clippers up by 4. I like the aggressiveness that Wallace has come out with tonight. He's playing a phenomenal game for your Agua Caliente Clippers. 12 points in 1 quarter of basketball. That will get it done, folks. And that's, you want to play, make sure you get the defense. You just don't want to give Bowman that easy of a lane to the cup, because he is going to score that more times than not. So that's something you definitely want to shut out. As Wallace gets it over to 4. 4 puts that up. Nice looking shot. Couldn't get that one to go down, but I tell you, that was just as straight as could be, but just could not get that one to go down. And now you'll see the Spurs will try to play deep into the shot clock, game clock, shot clock, a few seconds off, but you'll see that they'll play deep into this possession, make sure they get a good look. The ball down low. Holman, that's a nice looking shot, nice turnaround. Just couldn't get that one to go down, and that just dribbles into your Agua Caliente Clippers' hands. And now can the Clippers, can they end this quarter with some points? Can they get it on the board? As Wallace gets right to his spot. Just couldn't get that one to go down. Off to a great start. Wallace has 12 points, leading scorer for your Agua Caliente Clippers. I just like the offensive punch he's coming with tonight. Just so aggressive. Your Clippers win tonight, clinch a spot in the playoffs. Can they get it? As Walker gets down low, absorbs the contact. That's a nice move right there. I like that play. Strong got to the cup, and he had bad intentions. He was determined to get those 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Can the Clippers get a stop? That has been their signature. That's a great entry pass. That's one of those things. I'll tell you, the Clippers are fortunate that Graves didn't get that to go down, because he was point blank at the cup. That's one of those plays I know he'll say to himself, I'll make that 9 times out of 10. As Wallace has it, you got 11 seconds on the shot clock. What's Wallace going to do? A lot of dribbling. Gets to the cup, kiss it off the glass. Nice play. Just lulled him to sleep. Got to the cup, exploded, and got 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Got a little bit of breathing room, 6-point lead, but the way the Spurs can shoot, they can respond in just a moment. Nice outlet pass, gets the ball back to Darling. Darling gets it back to Wallace. Thought about the 3, pump fakes it, and now he gets to the cup. He is just a nice swat, nice recovery right there as Holman swats that play. That is a great recovery right there. I mean, he's a 6'9" forward center. I mean, you could just see the length on that play. He's a big man, folks. He's one of those guys, if you're going to go to the cup, you're going to have to slam a jam on that one. You can't go in there soft. As Walker gets the ball back over to Wallace. Wallace gets it over to Williams. And what's Williams going to do for it? Get to the cup. Like that play, just kind of threw it down. And that's it. He's just so high. He just threw that in. You see that play? That was a nice shot right there. As now the Clippers, they're cooking. They got something going. They got some of that home cooking going. They're starting to extend this lead back up to 8 as Holman. That's a nice play right there. Nice first step. Get to the cup as Holman gets that nice response for this Spurs team. Can your Agua Caliente Clippers, can they continue to put some points on the board with that good home cooking? Now Darling has it. What's Darling going to do? Almost had to step back. Great defensive response. Walker goes up to the cup, and he went up there trying to slam a jammer, but that was a great block. And now Holman, what's he going to do? Great. Oh, nice play. Gets the recovery as Walker. I like that steal. Picks his pocket, and now Scott gets it. What's he going to do? Gets to the cup. Couldn't get that one to go down as your Clippers just playing fast right now. That's one of those things I guarantee you the coaching staff would like to see more ball rotation. That's a good shot. And that, I tell you, that just dribbled in as Graves gets that to go down. Friendly bounce right there for them as he gets that to dribble in. And the Spurs continue to respond with Caliente Clippers. This is the 5th season, and I'll tell you, this has got to be by far one of the best defensive squads that we've had. Coach Hewitt and his staff, they have such attention to detail, and now that's why we are in a push for a playoff run as Scott gets it. Nice footwork, kiss it off the glass. Nice turnaround play right there as he got right to where he wanted to be, right on that elbow, and got the 2 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers. This is what I talk about, the defense. You have 13 seconds on the shot clock. This is the signature defense of this team. Lock in as Bowman gets a nice shot to go up. And gets the friendly dribble. And I'll tell you, that's the second time that that's happened, was dribbled right over the rim. I'll tell you, the Spurs, they figured something out. They got those friendly rims out there in the Inland Empire. And now let's see, as Wallace gets it over to Scott. Scott had a nice shot down low, gets the three ball. He's caliente, hits a big three for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Like that from downtown Ontario. 8.5 to go. Your Agua Caliente Clippers, you can see that offense is still there. They're still caliente. Just got to get the ball to the person with the hot hands. And right now, by far, it is Scott. And now you can see the Clippers, I say, step back. That's a nice shot right there. The friendly bounce didn't happen that time for Dotson. And now your Clippers, you can see, look how fast they get up the court. They want to get right in the scoring position as Wallace gets that one up. Couldn't get that one to go down. But I'll tell you, this Spurs team, they're fast too as Mahoney gets that to go up. And I tell you, he knew that was going to be going down as soon as he let that go. That was a clean-looking shot. And I'll tell you, this Spurs team, they respond all night long. As Darling thought about the three, gets the ball, he rotates and finds his way back over to Wallace. And Wallace, let's see what Wallace can do. Wallace is having a big night for your Clippers. Euro step, get to the cup. Nice play, don't hurt nobody. Wallace, that was a nice play as he got right to where he wanted to be, right point blank at the cup. Did you see that beautiful Euro step? Nice play right there for your Agua Caliente Clippers down low. Great defense right there by Darling. That's what I've been saying all night. The Clippers, their defense has been superb, and that was a play just too high as it comes off of Dotson's hand. Ford's going to be checking in for your Agua Caliente Clippers as Williams will be checking out. So now you're going to have three guards on the floor for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Still have Thompson, still have Scott out there, have Darling out there, and of course you have Wallace, who's having a big night for your Agua Caliente Clippers as they lead by 4, up 40-36 with about 7 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Look at Ford get to the cup, just couldn't get that one to go down, but I tell you, he was right at the cup as Dotson gets it. Dotson's hit some big shots tonight for this Spurs club, and now they rotate the ball, gets over to Robinson. Robinson, what's he going to do? Calling out his commands, telling everybody where he wants them to be. Nice way to use the screen, gets the ball back, great rotation. That was a good looking shot, but Mahoney just couldn't get it to go down. He hit a big three just a moment ago, so he's a guy you want to stay connected to. Gets the ball into Thompson, like that play, Ford to Thompson, two-man game. That was a nice play, and that's one of those things when you get deep into a season and everyone's kind of figured everybody out on the team, knows everyone's sweet spot, and I tell you, Ford set Thompson up right where he wanted to be. Nice play right there, and that's why I talk about setting up your teammate, and that's a great play as Kaycock gets right where he wanted to be, got a nice floater in deep, and that's one of those things. And when you're this deep into the season, everyone knows everyone's favorite moves as to gets the ball over to Darling. Darling with the floater, just couldn't get that, followed his own shot, got the rebound, got the 2 points. Oh my Darling, nice play right there as he gets that one to go down for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Look at the ball rotation of the Spurs, and they're going to call it traveling on that play, but that was great rotation. I'll tell you, this Spurs team, their passes are very, very crisp. King checks in for the first time for your Agua Caliente Clippers, and Wallace will check out. King is a young man that can give you some big-time production on the offensive side of the ball game. Last time out, he put up 7 points for your Agua Caliente Clippers in a win against the Santa Cruz Warriors. And let's see what Ford wants to do. Ford's one of those guys so fast, so quick. Ball rotates, flies his way back to Darling, gets it into Thompson, two-man game, flush. It's Kaycock, he has 12 points, and they had a little dust-up before the break. Nothing malicious, but they were just talking. And now you can see your Agua Caliente Clippers want to lock in and make sure they continue to pull away in this contest. It's a playoff run. Can the Clippers clinch a playoff berth tonight? Great defense, got them down deep in the shot clock, 6 seconds as Morris gets to the cup, couldn't get that one to go down, and Thompson, the 7-footer, snatches that rebound. And look at Ford, he has one speed, super duper fast, pump fake, puts him in the popcorn machine, 2 points off the glass. That was as pretty as a brand new Mustang. And now your Agua Caliente Clippers are starting to get some rhythm, up by 10 with 5 minutes to go. Look at the ball rotation. I told you, the Spurs, their passing is so crisp as they get the ball right back over to Dotson, and he hits a big three. And that's one of those things, as you continue to move the ball and find your teammate in space, that's what happens. You find the man right where he wants to be, right in rhythm, as your Agua Caliente Clippers still up by 7 as they lead 48-41. But I say I'll tip my cap to the Spurs passing. Ford just had a nice play just a moment ago as the ball finds its way to Thompson. You got 7 seconds on the shot clock. Gets the ball back to King. What's King going to do with a great step back? Gets a 3-ball downtown Ontario. That shot was fit for a King. I like the way that shot looked. Got right to where he wanted to be. Got right in his space. Hit a big 3 for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Now up by 9 with 4 minutes to go. Dotson, look at that. I told you, look at the ball rotation. Just couldn't get that one to go down. As Stewart had the shot that he wanted, just couldn't get that one to go down. And now Ford, what's he going to do? He is super duper fast. I told you, he pump faked the man a minute ago and gets the ball in the sky. Great Scott. That's a nice play as he gets the flush. As Ford finds Scott on a nice play with 3 minutes, 45 seconds to go here in the second quarter. I think the Clippers, that home cooking is starting to settle in, and they're starting to find their rhythm. And look at this. This is what I talk about. Their defense. Just hang your hat on defense, young men. I love how just nice play. That is a great play right there as Robinson gets that to go down. But you see how hard the Clippers are making them work? They are just locked in on the defensive side of the game, and I like to see that. Make them go deep into the shot clock as Ford gets it. Thought about doing the step back 3, gets the ball into Thompson. Thompson, look at that. Let's see the footwork. Let's see your footwork. Young man gets in deep with the fallback. He gets called for the traveling on that play. So that's going to be Spurs basketball. If Walker will check back in, so will Williams. Scott will check out for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And the 7-footer Thompson checks out as well. And there's a shot of Petar Buzic for the head coach for the Spurs team. Bozic. I hope I got that right. I practiced all the pregame. I talked to a couple of the staff members for the Spurs, and I kept working on it. Bozic. Hopefully I got it. Somebody in Austin let me know if I got that right. You got under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Let's see what your Agua Caliente Clippers can do as K-Cott gets a nice floater. Couldn't get that one to go down, and he felt that there was a lot of contact, and that was a nice-looking shot, though. He's one of those players that can get any shot pretty much he wants as Darling gets in deep, gets the ball back over to Ford. Got plenty of time, got 12 seconds on the shot clock as Darling gets it up, and nice shot, hits the 3-ball for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And that's one of those things is Darling, he didn't want to drive. He wanted to step back and get the big 3 for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Now, he's a player. If you can get him to be caliente, that's going to be something you want to see. Nice pass, sets him up, gets it right to Holman, right, kiss it off the glass. Nice shot. And you see how fast Ford gets over the other side of the court, step back 3. That was just as pretty as a brand new pair of Jordans. As Ford hits a big 3 for your Agua Caliente Clippers, and they're cooking right now. They got something going as your Clippers are up by 13, and that matches your biggest lead of the night. And K-Cock, I told you, he's a guy that can get any shot he wants at any time. Couldn't get that one to go down, but he's a young man you want to stay connected to. He brought his offensive A game. As Darling just hit a big 3, couldn't get that one to go down, and what a long rebound. The Clippers just could not pull that in, and look how fast the Spurs get right where they want to be. Great steal right there as Williams comes out of nowhere and snatches that steal, and smartly King kept the ball, got it over to Ford because he saw Dotson lying in wait trying to get a steal, but now Ford gets in deep. Euro step floater. Nice play by Ford. The Clippers, they are cooking right now. They got something going. They got that hometown seasoning going. They are cooking. And look at that nice play right there. Get right to the cup. Nice play by Robinson. He got that first step, and he absolutely exploded right to the cup. You got under a minute to go here in the second quarter. Your Agua Caliente Clippers up by 13. Can they close this quarter out with a nice little burst, with a nice little push? Gets the ball. Ball finds his way to Williams. Started by the 3. Then he puts up the 3. Downtown Ontario. Big 3 ball for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Now can the Clippers, can they get a stop? Can they keep this team from scoring? Good looking shot right there. You got the stop you wanted. You got 33 seconds on the game clock, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to turn the ball over. But you said Ford said, hey, he thought the ball was kicked. Robinson, man, he's got to the cup. He is elusive. He is a nice player as he gets to the cup. And that's going to be a foul called against your Agua Caliente Clippers, and that's going to be called against Walker. And on that last play, Ford was saying he felt the ball was kicked, and the referee said, we didn't think so. 24.6 seconds on the game clock, 18 seconds on the shot clock. So your Agua Caliente Clippers sporting a 16-point lead. Can they close out this possession with another stop and keep this first? Nice play right there. Robinson, he's just nimble, got his own rebound, couldn't get that to go, and that's going to be 3 opportunities at the rim for the Spurs. Getting to the cup. I tell you, going in with bad intentions with Holman. But that's one of those things for the Clippers. You don't want to see that happen because you gave them 3 opportunities at the cup. And look at that. He was going in with some bad intentions. Holman, my goodness. He was trying to throw that thing down with some authority. 10.4 seconds ago, Holman will get 1 free throw worth 2 points as he tries to cut into the 16-point Agua Caliente Clippers lead. Couldn't get that one to go down. Clippers basketball. So the Clippers got 6 seconds to go, and Ford's the guy you want to have it with the ball. Look how fast he is. Gets it over to Edwards, and they're going to call a foul on the play. But did you see, I said it was just over 6 seconds to go, and all the way up on the other side of the court. You see how fast Ford went? My goodness, he is super duper fast. What a first step that young man has. And there's the local guy, the young man that grew up the street from this very arena for your Agua Caliente Clippers, Cameron Edwards. 1 free throw worth 2 points. Free throw is good. Your Agua Caliente Clippers. We can see, can they close it out? And you can see the coaches were saying, don't let them roll it. Nice pass. That's a nice, it looked like that pass almost looks like it's worthy of playing at SoFi Arena up the street for your NFL champion Rams. But that was a play. Now you got 1.3 seconds ago. Let's see if your Agua Caliente Clippers, can they get a score? You got Ford out there, and like I said, he is super duper fast. He's the guy you want to have the ball in his hands. Couldn't get a shot off. Third quarter of action. Your Clippers, as we said, they are lead 65-47. They did not control the tip, so they will get the ball to start the third quarter. And Wallace has been absolutely lights out. Like the way he's been playing. Gets the ball into Thompson. Nice play right there as Thompson absorbs the contact. He's just been playing lights out lately. I like the way that he's been playing basketball. Last time out, that young man contributed 24 points. What a prospect. I mean, he's a 7-footer. Great prospect for your Clippers organization. And he's very good. I don't want to jinx him. Very good from the free throw line. And just like that, he rewards us all, steps up and gets the free throw to go down with about 11 and a half to go here in the third quarter. Can your Agua Caliente Clippers, this is where they've hung their hat on, is defense. Nice lob, nice slamma-jamma right there. That's a good play. Holman gets that to go down. And a great setup on the play. And there's going to be a foul against your Agua Caliente Clippers. You said, look at the lob, look at the flush. Nice two-man game right there as Darling gets called for the foul on the play. That's just one of those things that just hurts because you give up the slamma-jamma and then you give up the foul. And that's one of those things you don't want to do. You don't want to allow this Spurs team. I saw them in shoot-around. They have shooters out there on the court. This is a team that you just don't want to get them in rhythm because they can respond and put some points up as Wallace has it. Let's see what Wallace going to do. Tries to find King. Ball finds his way back to Darling. Darling gets it over to Scott. Scott gets up the 3 ball. Couldn't get that one to go down. And that was one of those possessions where it looks like they just couldn't get the rhythm they wanted, couldn't get the ball where they wanted to get it as Morris gets it. Look at the defense Wallace takes with him. But the referee said that was just too much contact as they call a foul on that play. Clippers still up by 17 points. And that's going to be a foul called against Wallace. Still going to be Spurs basketball. You got 12 seconds on the shot clock, and that's just an unforced error on that play. And you can see right there's K-Cock and Stewart are talking and saying, hey, no, I wanted the ball here, I wanted it there. So you can see them communicating with one another. And that was head coach Bozic. Hopefully I got that right. Like I said, if someone's in Austin, let me know. Did I do it right? Petar Bozic. I think I got it. As Darling gets it, rotates it over to King. What's King going to do? Nice step back on that play. That was fit for a clean. Downtown Ontario as King hits a victory for your Agua Caliente Clippers to put them up by 20 points. And let's see what Stewart's going to do. Stewart is a guy, you want to stay connected to him. I saw him in shoot around. He was lights out. He had the stroke going. His Holman gets in deep. Great ball rotation. I love the rotation as Stewart goes to the cup, kiss it off the glass. I like the ball rotation of this Spurs team. They are crisp as they move that ball, finding shooters along the way. As Wallace with the floater, get to the cup. Wallace, he's caliente tonight. He can do whatever he wants tonight. He's just feeling. He is caliente. Is your Agua Caliente Clippers back up by 20 as they lead a score 72-52 with just about 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter. This is the great contest for your Agua Caliente Clippers as they try to do its Operation Playoffs. Let's see, and that's like Stewart was the guy. I told you in shoot around, he had the stroke going, and I saw that early. So anyone out there listening, number 16, you want to stay connected to him because I saw it in that rhythm in the shoot arounds. King gets the ball. King, nice play. Get right to where he wanted to be. King's got it going too. That play was fit for a King, and let's see what the call is. And there's a foul called out there. And you can see Coach Hewitt. That's the one thing about Coach Hewitt. He never stops coaching. I like the way he gets out there and execute. Never stops coaching. And that's why he was in the college ranks. He was an ACC coach of the year. You can see the referees step up, listen to him. He has a great disposition. And that's one of the things they so respected as a coach. Never you can see with the referees, they have great conversations with him. So respectful. He's always coaching. I love the way that he coaches this team out here in Ontario. Great look right there of the big man, the 7-footer Thompson. What a game he's having, right, folks? He has just really come into his own this season. 9.5 to go. Your Agua Caliente Clippers up 74-56. Dotson gets the ball. Nice pass. Gets the ball down low. And they're going to call another foul against your Agua Caliente Clippers. And I'll tell you right now, in the second half, the whistles are being blown now. And you can see right there, they're going to call that play. It's going to call a poke in the face against King on that play. So that's going to be a third team foul against your Agua Caliente Clippers. And Stewart has the ball, finds teammate, gets it over, and it gets the ball back to Stewart. And he couldn't get that one to go down. But I'll tell you, that young man, he's got the stroke, he's got the rhythm. He's a guy you want to stay connected to as Wallace has it. He's another young man that's in rhythm. He is caliente. Couldn't get that one to go down, but they're going to call a foul on the play. And they're going to call that against your Clippers. They're going to call that against Thompson. And I'll tell you right now, the first half, pretty fluid game. A lot more fouls being called in this second half of action against your Agua Caliente Clippers. Quick fouls. There was some chippiness in the first half, but you can see the referees right now, they're saying, hey, we're going to get control of this game. They are not going to let this game get out of hand. As your Agua Caliente Clippers up 74-56. And look at the ball rotation for the Spurs team. Dotson gets the ball down low, gets down to K-Cock. And he's a guy, he is skilled on the low block. Gets the ball right in space, right in rhythm. Couldn't get that one to go down. Thompson comes in and snatches that rebound for your Agua Caliente Clippers. But he's a 7-foot man. I tell you what, I would give to be 7 feet tall for just one day. King gets the ball, gets it back out to Darling. Darling gets that to go up, couldn't get that one to go down. And look at Thompson, the 7-footer, get the rebound. Like I said, boy, that would have to be fun, just to be 7 feet for one day. Could you imagine? I would love to do that. 8.5 to go, your Agua Caliente Clippers as Thompson gets fouled on the play. And that foul is going to be called against K-Cock. That's his first personal foul. Second team foul. So Thompson will step up, one free throw worth 2 points. and he's been lights out at the free throw line. And he steps up and calmly hits a three-pointer. And I tell you, that is so good to see a 7-footer that is just lights out at the free throw line. That is a skilled basketball player right there. As Bowman gets the ball into Dotson, and what's Dotson going to do? They want to find the ball over to Morris. Morris, a nice first step, gets it down to K-Cot. What a game he's had. Nice touch right there. Gets down low. He is a skilled player for this Spurs team, 6'7", and he's playing against a 7-footer as King gets right in rhythm, gets the stroke, couldn't get it, and that's a lot of contact. I mean, that was a serious push right there. And you can see right there, Coach, you would have said, hey, that's just a little too much contact, but the foul was called. So the Clippers basketball side out. Got 8 minutes, 7 seconds to go. And you can see right there, look on that play right there. Kaycock and Thompson. I'll tell you right now, it's just getting physical down there with those two young men. But those are some big men out there. A 6'7" guy, a 7-foot guy. That is a lot of humanity. As the ball gets down to Wallace, and Wallace gets the friendly dribble. It gets the 2 points. And I'll tell you, that's what I was talking about in the first quarter. That rim is friendly. They got the friendly bounce again as your Agua Caliente Clippers. You see Wallace absorbs the contact. Grown man move. Gets the friendly bounce in the Inland Empire. Nice play right there as Wallace. And I said it earlier, he is caliente. I just love the way he's asserting himself on the offensive side. 20 points, now 21 points. What a night that young man is having for your Agua Caliente Clippers as Bowman gets it. Looks like he wants to get to his space. Look at the ball rotation for the Spurs, and that's what I talked about all night. Gets the ball right to Morris, gets right to his spot. Couldn't get that one to go down, and Scott gets the rebound. Look at him. The Clippers just push the ball, gets up to the cup, gets it to Walker, kicks it off the glass, and that was fast for your Agua Caliente Clippers. What an addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Love Walker's game. Just so skilled at the cup. Nice play. Gets to the K-cup. Gets the points. Gets the foul. Is it just me, or does it seem like he just goes so strong to the cup, absorbs the contact, and is able to finish at the cup? That's another young man. If you're the Clippers, you want to keep him on your radars. K-Cot, look at him, get to the cup, absorbs the contact, gets the points, and the foul. As K-Cot, what a player, what a young man he is. 7.5 to go here in the third quarter. Couldn't get the free throw, but K-Cot, he is a skilled player for this Spurs team. And now Wallace, just love the command that he's had all night long for your Agua Caliente Clippers. You want to continue to, and look at him just calling out the signal, saying, I need you to go here, I need you to go there. And look at him. Just the floor general sets up, gets his own shot. Couldn't get that one to go down, but look at Walker gets the pushback. I tell you, Walker, what an addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers. I like the way he is just eating up everything close to the rim, all the rebounds. Nice play up and under. Couldn't get that to go down, but who else but K-Cot with the putback? He is a player that is just so skilled. What a game he is having for this Spurs team. So if you're the Agua Caliente Clippers, that's another young man you want to keep a body on and make sure that you keep him honest. It was nice with your Agua Caliente Clippers just kicking on all cylinders. They're locked in on the offensive end. They're locked in on the defensive end. But this Spurs team, do not go to sleep on this team. They've got shooters out there. As Dotson, look at that, with the step back. And that's just like I said, they've got shooters out there. So Dotson, he's one of those players that you want to stay connected to because they've got the firepower and the 5'9", and the fire punch that they need out there. And now your Agua Caliente Clippers, and that's one of the things, and that's a foul called on the play, almost an unforced error, but that's what you don't want to see. You don't want to see one of those things with an unforced error for your Clippers as the Spurs try to get back into this contest. And that's going to be a foul called against Morris. And now Darling will step up for one free throw worth 2 points. And I told you last game, he was lights out as well, as now he has 10 points tonight. But last time they were out there, he had 26 points for your Clippers. Free throw a little bit short, and that's what you don't want to see. Darling's one of those guys that can shoot the lights out, so you want to see him step up and hit the big freeze. As Dotson gets right in rhythm, couldn't get that one to go down as Walker snatches the rebound out of the air. And now the Clippers are getting right back where they want to be as they get set up. They're having just a great night on the offensive side. And King's one of those guys, he can get a shot anytime you want to. But Walker, let's see what he can do. Skill play, look at that. Gets that to dribble in, friendly bounce for Walker. That's a good shot. My goodness, is he a skilled young man? A great addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers out of Florida. Like the way he plays basketball. Morris gets right where he wants to be, and that was just a clean shot right there. Sometimes you got to tip your cap. He got the ball right where he wanted it, but do you see how fast the Clippers got right back into an offensive possession? And now you can see Scott get down low. Footwork, couldn't get that one to go down, and that's going to be a rebound for the Spurs as Kaycock gets it right to his teammate. Great play right there. Great, even better play by Darling as he comes over the top and gets the turnover for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Darling gets right to where he wants to be and let that go. And look at that, get right there. Walker. I told you, Walker out of Florida. What a skilled player. What a great addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And King almost got it, still couldn't get it. And now look at the Spurs stuck with it. Nice play, get right to the cup was Morris. As I said, Walker, I like the way he plays. 6'9", forward center out of Florida. Great addition for your Clippers squad. And now Wallace. What's Wallace going to do? Gets it over to King. King gets it to Darling. Darling with the first step. Gets it back over to Walker. Walker has just been shooting lights out. Gets it back over to Darling. Darling gets it to Walker. Gets the lob. Couldn't get that one to go down. And just gets right there to Scott. And wasn't able to get that, but he was right at the cup. They have a mismatch now. You got 4-on-5 as Holman gets it. Gets the first step. Look at that slamma-jamma thunder dunk. When he went in with bad intentions. I'll tell you, I would have ran if I was a basketball player. Look at that. Robinson steals it, gets the 2 points, kicks it off the glass. And that's what I like to call one of those unforced errors. And that's one of those things with Robinson is he stole his cookies, picked his pocket, got to the cup. You don't want to have those unforced errors. You don't want to let your foot off of the gas. And that's another unforced error for your Agua Caliente Clippers. 2 quick turnovers. That's what you don't want to see with 3 minutes and 44 seconds to go. This is one of those things, you know, Coach Hewitt and his staff, they want to see the Clippers, regardless of what the score is, they want to see them continue to keep their foot on the gas. You don't want to have unforced errors, unforced turnovers. That's something that will make a coach lose his mind. As Dotson gets right to where he wants to be, couldn't get that one to go down, and now Ford gets it. You can see how fast he is. Gets the ball over to Williams. Williams has hit a couple of big threes. Gets it down to the big man. Thompson gets the 2 points. Do you see how fast he turned around and exploded to the rim? That is a nice, I mean, that's a 7-foot man. That is a lot of humanity. And that's still going. Great challenge for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And that's where it shows you, even though the score is 91-73, every possession's important. It is. We're trying to get into the playoffs, folks. As Ford gets it, what's Ford going to do? As he has it, gets it over to Darling. You got 9 seconds on the shot clock, so you don't have to rush, but you have to make sure you get a quality shot up. You got 5 seconds now, and now they know it. And that's still going to be Clippers basketball. Now you only have 2 seconds on the shot clock. And you can see Scott put his finger up and tell his teammates, hey, we only have 2 seconds, so we have to make sure that we get a good shot. Scott will inbound the ball for your Agua Caliente Clippers. 2 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the quarter. And now you get the ball into Thompson. Thompson with the turnaround. That's a nice looking shot. Just couldn't get that one to go down. But that was one of those things. They played deep into that shot clock. And now Robinson comes over the halfway mark. You got 16 seconds on the shot clock. And now can the Clippers, can they get a stop? Gets the ball into Dotson. He's a guy that's been feeling it all night long. Couldn't get that one to go down. And now Scott gets the rebound, pushes the ball, gets it back over to Darling. Darling gets it back over to Ford. What's Ford going to do? His first step is just so explosive as Williams gets the 3 ball. You can see he's feeling it. He's Caliente. Caliente as Williams gets a big three for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Got just about 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and the Clippers are locked in, and that's a good-looking shot. Just lift out. Scott gets another rebound and pushes it, gets it over to Williams, and he gets it off the glass, 2 points, and that's a quick 5-0 run for Williams himself as your Agua Caliente Clippers up now 96-73. Can they clinch a playoff berth tonight? And then look at that, weaving, getting right to where he wants to be, and my goodness, what a shot, hit the top of the backboard, and now he rotates the ball back out, and now Holman gets a good shot right where he wanted, just couldn't get that one to go down, and the big man Thompson just snatches that out of the air with a minute and a half to go. And they're going to be a foul called on the play, and that foul is going to be called against number 0, Holman. You got 1 minute and 28 seconds to go as your Agua Caliente Clippers still up a score of 96-73 as Ford will step up for one free throw worth 2 points. And that's, I just love the way your Agua Caliente Clippers are just keeping the pressure as Walker will check in for Thompson. Just love the pressure that your Agua Caliente Clippers are continuing to play. And it's all a credit to that young man you saw, the head coach of your Agua Caliente Clippers, Coach Hewitt. And I just love the attitude he's brought to this team all season long. He just coaches the entire game. Look, you can see him right there standing up. I don't think he sits down during the entire ball game. What a coaching job he's done this year as Robinson has it. Robinson gets right deep where he wants. And great ball rotation found right in space with Graves as he hit a big three. And that was a big three that this team needs as the Clippers now up 98-76. They have 98 points, and we're still in the third quarter, folks. You talk about an offensive explosion for this Agua Caliente Clippers team as Williams thought about the three, gets the ball back to King. King gets it over to Walker. Walker gets it back to Williams. He's been hitting threes lights out, and look at him get to the cup, 2 points. Nice play with a nice finger roll. Your Clippers have 100 points in 3 quarters of basketball. Nice play. And now you rotate it, and that's a good shot right there. Graves just hit 2 threes in a row. He is feeling it. That is a quick 6 points for that young man. I'll tell you right now, if you see that man on the court, you want to stick him and stay close to him as Williams has it. And now 33.6 seconds to go with 17 seconds on the shot clock. But I tell you, Graves, he's the guy you want to stick to. You want to make sure that you're guarding him because you can see he's getting right to where he wants to be. But that's what I talked about earlier with the Spurs, the ball rotation that they have, they are finding their teammates right where they want to be and getting them in space and getting them the perfect shots they want as Williams will step up and hit 1 free throw worth 2 points as your Agua Caliente Clippers in 3 quarters of action have 102 points. You got 27 seconds on the game clock. Nice way to get to the cup, kiss it off the glass. Robinson, nice play right there. It's a nice veteran move. It's now Wallace. Now the shot clock is out. The Clippers, you got 14 seconds in the quarter, and they'll play down to the very last shot. They'll probably go at about 7 seconds to go in the quarter. And now let's see what Wallace will do. Now you can see that first step, such a quick first step. Gets the step back, couldn't get the shot to go down. And we are back, and at the end of 3 quarters of basketball, that's not a misprint. We're starting off the 4th, and the Clippers already have 102 points. I told you they were caliente. They just came out lights out, and look at that, get the steal. Walker, what an addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers team. He plays well on the defensive side, the offensive side, as Scott gets down low. Great Scott as he goes up and gets the 2 points, coast to coast. Gets the points like that. What a play that young man has contributed for your Agua Caliente Clippers as they rotate. Find Stewart. Stewart's been lights out tonight for this Spurs team. And that's a turnover. That's an unforced error for the Spurs team. Gets it over the Scott. Throws it up. Gets it to King. Flush. Slamma jammer. Nice play. I don't know if he jumped from the rafters. I don't know where he came from. But boy, did that young man get up on that slamma jammer. That is so exciting. I tell you, it is loud in here as your Agua Caliente Clippers try to get into the playoffs. Great shot right there as Mahoney gets set to go down. I tell you about silencing the crowd. That's a big shot that this Spurs team needs to try to get back into this contest. As Walker gets down low, tells King come back and get the ball. You got 10 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Look at that first step by Wallace. Gets the ball back out to Scott. And you got 6 seconds on the shot clock. Now you got to get a shot. Look at Walker with the fake. Takes the contact, gets the rebound, goes up for the behind the back overhead flush. Nice play right there. I tell you, he is such a skilled player, like Walker's game. What an addition for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And on that play, stepping out of bounds is going to be Stewart. And I tell you, they're such big men. Look at this play right here as Walker sticks with it, gets his rebound, goes over, does the reverse dunk. Nice play right there by Walker. That is a nice flush. 10.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Your Agua Caliente Clippers up 108-84. No lead is too much. Can your Agua Caliente Clippers continue to stretch this out more? And look at catch the shot up. Wallace just couldn't get that one to go down. And that right there is an unforced error. Still going to be Agua Caliente Clippers basketball, as Wallace will inbound the ball. You got 10 minutes, 10 seconds to go. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Clippers basketball. Ball gets to Darling. What a floater. Nice play. Couldn't get that one to go down. And that's going to be Spurs basketball. Gets the ball into Robinson. Nice play. Gets to the cup. Euro step. Kiss it off the glass. Nice first step as he just exploded to the cup. I'll tell you, this Spurs team, there is no quit in this Spurs team. They continue to work to try to get points to the board. As Scott gets it, what's Scott going to do with it? Gets down low. Look at the footwork. Let's see what he can do. Nice turnaround. Like that shot. Oh my gosh, great Scots. Nice shot right there. Scots gets 2 points. You got the Agua Caliente Clippers up 110-86, 9.5 to go here in the fourth quarter as Stewart gets in low. Couldn't get that one to go down, and Walker gets the rebound. Gives your Agua Caliente Clippers another possession. And now Wallace, what's he gonna do? You got 9.5 to go here in the fourth quarter. Ball finds his way back to Wallace. Jab step, gets down low. If you're gonna let him get that low, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna score. Unfortunately on that one, wasn't able to get that one to go down. 9 minutes, 10 seconds to go. Thompson's gonna check back in for your Agua Caliente Clippers. He'll check in for Walker. And it's going to be Spurs basketball. And there's a great shot right there of the 7-footer. Boy, is he coming to his own this season. Love his presence down low. He is playing some great basketball for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Stewart has it. He has a great control of the ball. He, like I said, in shoot around, I saw him. He just had the stroke going as he gets down low, absorbs the contact, and one. Nice play right there. He is a skilled basketball player. I just watched him the whole shoot around, and I saw, and I said he's going to be a problem tonight for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Just so skilled on the offensive end of the court. Ford's going to check in for your Agua Caliente Clippers. Checking out. It's going to be Darling. 8 minutes and 59 seconds to go. Agua Caliente Clippers up 110-88, and you can see DJ Stewart 9 points on the contest. Seems like he has so much more than that. Hits the free throw. As Wallace will bring it up. As your Agua Caliente Clippers, just under 9 minutes to go. They want to continue to apply the pressure and make sure they're able to close this game out strong, regardless of what the score is on the scoreboard. You want to finish this game out strong. Gets the ball in deep to Thompson, and that's an unforced error right there as they get the turnover as Bowman gets it in deep, gets it over to Stewart. I said all night he had the stroke going, couldn't get that one to go down, but look at the hustle on that play. And they're going to call a foul on that play, and that foul is going to be called against Scott. And you can see right there on the play, that's an interesting foul call on the play. That's one of those things you let them play on. But nope, the referee said that is a foul. With 8 minutes and 32 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter, you got 11 seconds on the shot clock. The ball finds its way to Stewart. And what's Stewart going to do? Gets in deep, finds Mahoney. And that's a good-looking shot right there. And I tell you, he has got the stroke Mahoney has been lights out all night long. 6'5" guard out of Creighton. He's had a great offensive game tonight for his team with just about 8 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Agua Caliente Clippers still up 110-92. But like I said, no lead seems big enough here in the G League as Thompson gets down low, goes up. Nice play by the big man. That's a 7-footer, folks. He's just so skilled down in the low blocks. I really like the way that play looked as the Agua Caliente Clippers try to close it out. Bowman gets in deep, gets the alley-oop lob to Renfro, gets that flush. That's a good play for that young man as he went up and got the slamma-jamma. 7.5 to go. Your Agua Caliente Clippers still up 112-94. Wallace has been lights out. What's Wallace going to do? Gets the ball down to the big man. And there's going to be a foul called on the play. And this is a big man, 7-footer, can put the ball on the floor, can go to the cup, can drive to the cup and finish. Great. And he can shoot the three ball. You talk about a skilled young man. 7 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the game. 14 seconds on the shot clock. As Wallace inbounds the ball, gets it over to Ford. What's Ford going to do? Ford is super duper fast. Get to the cup. Floater. Gets the friendly bounce as he gets 2 points. That's a nice play right there for Ford. As he just put his foot on the gas and just went. And look at Thompson. This is a 7-footer. Gets the steal. Gets the ball back over to Wallace. When Ford has it, he just hit a nice floater for your Agua Caliente Clippers. When he puts his foot on the gas, he absolutely goes. And King has it. Gets it back over to Ford. You got 11 seconds on the shot clock. Look at Ford get down low. That's an unforced error. Turnover on that play as Graves gets it. Euro step. And look at coming out of nowhere. Scott just swats that out of here. Gets the ball over to Wallace. What's Wallace going to do? And that's a play right there. Another unforced error for your Clippers as Stewart gets it. What's Stewart going to do? Gets it over to a teammate with the thunder dunk. Is Renfro. And that's 2 big dunks for that young man as the Clippers up 114-96 with 6.5 to go here. And that's one of those things. You can see the Clippers, regardless of the score, you want to close this game out strong. You want to continue to put your foot on the glass. Euro step. Scott gets up to the cup. I like that. That is a nice play as he gets those 2 points. As Bowman, what's Bowman going to do? Gets the ball over there. Ball rotation. Like I said, rotation for the Spurs team has been nice all night long. Going to travel on that play. And that's going to be a travel call against Morris with just under 6 minutes to go. So your Agua Caliente Clippers like the way they're finishing out this contest as they lead a score of 116-96. This is what you want to see as you're getting ready for a playoff run as your Agua Caliente Clippers are trying to make a push for the first time in franchise history, trying to get into the playoffs as Walker gets it. And what's Walker going to do? Look at that first step. My goodness. Did you see the first step from that young man? Nice play. He absorbs the contact. Hopefully that young man is okay. But I like his skill on the offensive end. Looked like he took a shot to the mouth. Hopefully he is okay, taking his time to get up. And you can see right here as he goes up. And, oh, goodness, he got kicked in the face. Oh, wow. Took a knee to the face. I tell you that will hurt anyone. Looks like he's okay. Hopefully he's okay. As he's finally back on his feet on his own power. Telling a teammate, do I still look good? He's like, still look good, young man. As he and you can see Renfro comes up to him. That was nothing malicious. It's just one of those things that just unfortunately happens when you step up, and it happens. Hopefully he's okay. It looks like coming over and looking at the trainer, so hopefully that young man is okay. Looks like he may, I don't know if he got cut on the play. But it's going to be a timeout where the training staff will take a look at him. Looks like everything's okay. Just wanted to make sure. Walker wanted to make sure I still had the $1 million smile. And it looks like he's been cleared, and it looks like he is okay. So he'll go back out there, and the Agua Caliente Clippers will continue to play on. Clippers up 5 minutes, 48 seconds to go. The Agua Caliente Clippers lead a score of 116-98. So one free throw worth 2 points. Chris Walker will step up for the free throw. Took a shot just a moment ago to the chops. Free throw is good, and that's good to see when you see the young man step up and hit the free throw with 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Free throws are so important here in the G League. One free throw at this time of the game worth 2 points. You miss that one free throw, that's 2 points. I mean, there's times it's worth 3 points if you get fouled on a 3-point shot. As Morris gets the first step, with a block right there by King, and they're going to call a foul on that play. But it looked like King came over, but the referee said no, sir. Said that is a foul. And you can see right here, look at that first step. King goes up, and that looks, I guess they got him. They said he got him at the body. But that's one of those things. I say King met him at the cup. Stepping up the free throw is Morris. He steps up for the free throw, and the free throw is good to cut into this lead for your Agua Caliente Clippers. And that's an unforced error with the turnover. And now look at the ball rotation. As Morris just hit a free throw a moment ago. Couldn't get the 3 ball to go down. You got 5.5 to go. And this is just what you don't want to have. The Clippers just giving them a lot of shots at it. And that just didn't go down as Graves. He shoots the lights out from the 3-point line. Clippers are fortunate that did not go down. You see Coach Hewitt. He said, hey, slow it down. We don't need to go fast. We've got a decent-sized lead. Let's use this shot clock. As Ford gets to the cup, and that just dribbled off, and they were not able to convert on that, and that's just tough, as they were just right at the cup. Euro step, ball finds its way to Dotson, and now it gets to Renfro, and Renfro, look at the ball rotation. Ball finds its way back out to Renfro, gets a good look at it, just couldn't get that one to go down. As Walker gets the rebound for your Agua Caliente Clippers, gets the ball back over to Ford with 4.5 to go. So now, if you're the Clippers, you want to use as much clock as possible because the Spurs are playing the Clippers and they're playing against the clock. As King gets up for the 3, couldn't get that one to go down with 4.5 to go. It's going to be Spurs basketball, and that's just not the way you want to close out. As Morris gets to the cup and one, and that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to give up the shot as he gets to the cup, kisses off the glass, and you give him the foul. So you give him the traditional 3-point play. 18-point lead here for your Agua Caliente Clippers, but you want to just finish this game out strong. So that's going to be the 4th team foul for your Agua Caliente Clippers. So now what you want to do is just make sure you just want to use as much clock as possible. His free throw is no good on that play. And now that's a good play right there by Williams. Didn't get the ball to Ford because you can see the Spurs, they were looming, trying to get that steal. As King gets the ball, gets it over to Williams, and Williams gets the ball back out to Darling. Darling steps up and puts up the 3 downtown Ontario. Oh, my Darling. Well, that was a big shot with 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. That's a good shot for your Agua Caliente Clippers as you want to continue to apply the pressure and still continue to try to get this W tonight as you try to get to the playoffs. Nice play right there. Getting right to the cup was Johnson as he got to the cup and that was just too easy for that young man. That is a skilled player, 6'6" player out of Georgetown. You can't give him a free throw that easy. I tell you, I sat on the bench 4 years and I could have made that layup as King absorbs the contact, gets down low. Look at the footwork. Just couldn't get that one to go down. Free throw will be on the play as your Agua Caliente Clippers with 3.5 to go. Try to close out this 4th quarter. Like what I'm seeing for your Agua Caliente Clippers, up by 19 points. This is one of the things that Coach Hewitt likes to see his team do is close the game out strong as Thompson was checked back in for your Agua Caliente Clippers. He checks in for Walker. And I'll tell you, what a nice duo the Agua Caliente Clippers have now with Walker and Thompson. Those are a great tandem right there. As King, you can see he has 11 points on the night, 5 from 8 from the field. That's a solid night for that young man, as he looks to try to add 2 more points to your Agua Caliente Clippers lead. And just like that, steps up and does it as your Agua Caliente Clippers go up by 21 with 3.5 to go as Bowman has it. What's Bowman going to do? Great defense by your Clippers. Great ball rotation. I've said that all night long. He gets the friendly dribble as Dotson. And I'll tell you, the Spurs, their ball rotation has been superb tonight. As Ford has it. Look at that first step. My goodness, is he fast. Couldn't get that to go down, but the big man, the 7-footer, cleans it up with the rebound. And I'll tell you, Thompson And Walker, those young men, they just get so many rebounds. They are all over the glass. I like that. That is great for your Agua Caliente Clippers. It's a great shot right there by Scott as he's sitting up there absorbing the knowledge. As he's saying, hey, we need to get into the playoffs, coach. As Thompson will step up, one free throw worth 2 points. And the free throw is good. And I tell you, Thompson, his free throws, he's been hitting those all night long. I love to see him step up and hit free throws as a 7-footer. That is really, really good. As Bowman look at the defense by Ford. Ford's all up in his grill. Great ball rotation. This is what I talked about all night long. It seems like the Spurs can always find the open man as they rotated, and that just lipped out as Thompson. Who else would get the rebound but Thompson, right? But Dotson, that was a good-looking three for him, just couldn't get that one to go down as your Agua Caliente Clippers have a comfortable lead with 2.5 to go, up 125 to 105. That's a 20-point lead. Great entry pass, gets the ball down to Edwards, couldn't get that one to go down. And now the Clippers, if you're the Clippers, couldn't get the rebound, couldn't get that one to go. It's Bowman. Look at that. Keep your hands in there. I like that. Stay active. Great pass as the ball finds its way to Johnson as he gets the off the glass up and under. But with 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter, now your Agua Caliente Clippers, you want to start using clock and go deep into the clock. The ball finds its way down to Edwards, and Edwards just lost the ball on that play. Shot right there of KC, getting the crowd excited. It is loud in here, folks, as your Agua Caliente Clippers are under 2 minutes ago, trying to close this contest out. They've gone into a zone defense, and now you can see getting in deep is Mahoney, and they're going to call a foul on that play. And that's one of those plays that's tough. It looked like Thompson was there. It looked like he had his hands up. The referee felt different. With 1 minute and 46 seconds to go, your Agua Caliente Clippers up 125-107. Now you get free throws to cut into this lead. And you can see Denzel Mahoney, 9 points on the contest. And now because of the time of the game, you will get 2 free throws as opposed to the 1 free throw worth 2 points. First free throw is good to cut into this lead. Your Agua Caliente Clippers got a decent lead with 1 minute and 46 seconds to go. But what you want to do is, it's not about the points on the board. It's not about wins or losses right now. You just want to, if you're Coach, you want to just see this team continue to execute and finish this game out the right way. And that almost a turnover, but it wasn't. As the ball rotates, gets the ball over to Ford, gets right to his spot, couldn't get that one to go down. And now the Spurs are ready to push with 1.5 minutes to go. You can see they get set, and the ball seems to always find the right person. They are really skilled at moving the ball. And now Thompson, who else but Thompson would clean up that rebound with just over 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter. And you see Coach Hewitt, you can see him at the top of the screen. I tell you, he never stops coaching. He is always telling them exactly what he wants. He has such a command of this team. Love the way he coaches. You got 5 seconds on the shot clock, and now Williams has been shooting well. Gets the ball back over to Edwards. They're going to say that he stepped out of bounds on that play, and that's one of those things because of the shot clock. You may just want to let it go and unleash it. But you got 52 seconds to go here in the contest. Your Agua Caliente Clippers lead 125-109. A decent lead in the contest as we're on playoff watch. The Agua Caliente Clippers should clinch a playoff spot tonight with a win as Johnson gets down low, and you got the big man. And nice play as he turns around and gets that 2 points. Johnson, he got that shot over the 7-footer. So you got 33 seconds in the game. You got 18 seconds on the shot clock. So your Agua Caliente Clippers up 125-111. Sizable lead as they try to close out this contest to get the victory tonight as the Clippers look to get into the playoffs. Getting in low, gets it, and that's one of those plays. A lot of contact. You got to get that up. You got shot clock violation. One of those situations where Thompson, you just want to see him get a little selfish and go up and take the shot, but he was looking to get the ball to a teammate, that man right there, Ford. So now you got 12 seconds on in the game, and the shot clock is out because you only have 12.6 seconds to go in the game, with Agua Caliente Clippers up 125-111 as Graves has it. Goes up. You got the 7-footer right there, so I'd be nervous too going up against him. And Johnson couldn't get that one to go down as your Agua